Hello and welcome to the All Round Coaching Podcast, episode number 52. I took a little break and obviously I came back with the 42 Elite one. So we'll come in with a little bit of a life update. This isn't any information to sell or go over any promotional stuff, but I think we wanted to update on how we're getting on, and especially obviously it doesn't look like we are, but we're edging towards summer, which obviously everyone always feels a lot better, don't they?
Yeah, when it's sunny, it's absolutely fucking... I'm in so much of a better mood.
Yeah.
I actually want to be outside. I mean, piss poor, fucking weather today, let us down big time. But, yeah, the last few days we've had so much of really nice heat and some nice sun. So, I've been feeling a much more positive mindset, overall.
Yeah, we'll go into that in a minute, and I think with us we had some little breaks put in, not full-blown holidays, and it was nice to get to Paradiser. Which, when you tell people, obviously, I've been to a zoo, it's not a zoo, it's not Chester Zoo. It's like, for me, it was out of this world, and I absolutely loved it. I was in my own little element there.
Yeah, just touching on that, I had a few funny faces looked at me, when I told them I was going to Belgium to go to a zoo. They were like, you do know Chester's around the corner. But no, we'd seen it on Instagram, hadn't we? And
yeah.
They just looked epic. And for those that do know Claire, or those that don't know Claire, she's just mad into animals, and we walk around the clay hole, which is like a little pond near us, and every 10 minutes we're stopping to look at the baby ducks. So this was, as you can imagine, 2 days in a pretty big zoo was your kind of ideal of a dream come true, wasn't it?
Oh, it was amazing though, and I've said to you, obviously I want to go back next year because there's more to see, and it was nice I know a lot of people go on holidays to have drinks, and not to shame anyone or get pissed and stuff, but it was nice to have a little city break, get moving, see the animals, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I had the best time.
Which was the best animal?
I went for the giant pandas because they fucking moved them from Edinburgh when I was ready to go. And obviously, unless you actually go to, is it China? You wouldn't see them, or Thailand and things like that. So I went for the pandas, and obviously I saw a lot more than that, and I love the bears as well. I think all bear type creatures.
Yeah, it was cool anyway, because we stayed in, there's different worlds within the zoo. And there's, obviously, depending on how much you want to spend, but, you can stay, with the bear enclosures, can't you, for example, or, the tigers. We decided to stay with the farmhouse animals. We were literally sleeping with the pigs and the chickens.
There was deer there. It was like being Snow White, where they'd all just frolic over to you. It was so nice, and I don't know, I just think for me it was nice waking up with animals and nice scenery rather than just looking out into Wigan.
It was lovely, and the second day that we'd gone to set off, we had 2 bags of animal feed, so you can basically feed them where you kind of stay. We ended up having a deer on our little balcony, didn't we, at one point?
Yeah, it's really immersive. So this is why I want to say to people, go into a zoo and just look through a glass. It wasn't the same. This was really immersive. You got to play with a penguin with your glove.
Yeah, or get attacked by goats when we were trying to feed them, literally 10 minutes out of the block, and we're going back into the apartment to then go fucking shit off my clothes because the goats had been propped up on me. But no, it took 2 days to get around the whole thing, didn't it? And then you've just seen recently that they've opened another world, which obviously no doubt means that we have to go again next year.
Yes, we will be going again next year. This podcast will be recommendations on the holidays that we do. But I think it was nice for us, obviously. We're closing in on actually a year of being together, which I think's flown as well.
Yeah, we got together in July, so we are there's still time to not hit that year mark.
Thanks, Mel.
No, but yeah, we just naturally talk about that stuff anyway, don't we? I think we're just enjoying life now, hence why we had a bit of a break from the podcast. I know it's been about a month or so since
a proper full episode.
Yeah, just because I think, props to you, 50 episodes is absolutely mega. You should be so impressed and proud of yourself. I know I am. And sometimes when you've been going full steam ahead, 52 episodes is effectively a year, isn't it? So a year worth of podcasting is pretty impressive. But I think that's one of the things I admire about you, is that once you set your heart on something, then you do stick to it. And
it's not to say I think a lot of people now with anything they give up because it hasn't felt easy, or it feels uncomfortable, or it's unfamiliar, and that's it's the places that you grow. Because if you look at me, what, a year, 2 years ago, it was someone I wouldn't speak in front of a camera, I wouldn't speak on a podcast, I couldn't even fucking string a sentence together. And sometimes, even if I know the information, I wouldn't speak up. So it was a push I needed from the mentor to actually grow and develop. And I think a lot of people can take away from this, because I'm not the most confident person in quite a few things, but you wouldn't know it. I'm not saying fake it till you make it, but once you start doing things, it becomes natural. Like, you're not going to get good at something unless you fucking repeat it. And I think that's where a lot of people fall short. Like, even personally, professionally, business, whether you're starting it or anything to do with your goals.
Yeah, I mean, success starts small, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It starts with small, incremental, little changes, and I think that's what, without kind of giving you a little bit of a sell, like, that's what the 42 Elite program is about, isn't it? It's not going in hell for leather, fucking hitting it hard, because I've done those types of programs where, like, you basically being fucking, I don't know what's the word, like, you're just struggling through it for like 6 weeks, because it's not a lifestyle. Like, it's small little incremental changes that with 6 weeks isn't the fix for everything that you have. It's that 6 weeks actually to get fucking started again.
Yeah, because it can take up to 6 weeks, if not more, because on average it's 66 days to build a habit, and I've gone over this before. So if you give yourself 42 days, you're already going to start to establish that habit anyway. That's why in the past I've always been anti-challenge, and that's why I didn't want to do anything remotely to that, where I say to people, oh, we'll do a shred in 6 weeks. You can't, unless you've started in a decent position, you've got quite a bit of muscle, you're not going to be shredded in 6 weeks. Like, I don't like using that term. I don't like just slashing calories for the sake of it, because you've got nowhere to take it, and people don't learn from that.
Why should someone's health and fitness though be suffering? Like,
it should. That's what I want to change. So everyone associates diet and exercise as suffering, but it's actually not. If you look at, I don't know, cavemen years ago, it was normal to be active, it was normal to have an athletic body, and it was normal to eat well. If you look at us now, it's not. Why is that funny?
It's only because you said years ago, as if it was like 1990. Like, we've moved on quite a few years since then. But no, you're right. It's just movement, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I think just the idea. I mean, the benefit from what I've seen with 42 Elite is actually getting people back started, and the hardest thing to do with your body and your fitness goals is actually get started. And I think what you do is obviously guide people along the way. And
yeah, because people don't know where to fucking start, because there's that much misinformation. And if I wasn't doing what I was doing and I was an average person, I wouldn't know where to start either.
No, I mean, I've just hit Instagram and Pinterest.
Yeah, and obviously Instagram isn't helpful at the minute, because there's a lot out there that isn't true, but obviously it's glamorised and the influencers sell it well, like, fair play to them. But yeah, that moves us on to actually some of those, like, people actually do, not knowingly doing it as well, they actually do move more, because the weather sometimes is nicer, it's a little bit drier, but it isn't as dark. Like, if we think about winter, it's going dark at like 4 o'clock, so you don't want to go out, whereas we've got daylight now until what, 9 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we, like, as pure fucking procrastinators, like, get lost in, like, why are we going to bed at 11, 12 o'clock? Because, like, by the time we finished doing what we're doing, I think last night was a prime example where, like, we didn't really start to wind down until 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, and then before you know it, it's 10 o'clock, and, like, it's fucking late, isn't it? So, but the benefits of that is that I think we got out for a walk, if not last night, the night before, but we've certainly been more active. Like, I think it was Bank Holiday Monday that kick-started it for us, where, like, we just got out into the front garden, and then it progressively moved around to the back. I think on that day in particular, I think I'd done 14,000 steps, which...
Yeah, and it's nice that you've not just thought, I need to go for walks, I need to hit steps. Like, you were just moving because, one, you wanted to move, two, the weather was nicer and you were quite active. Obviously, you did a lot of the heavy lifting because I wasn't well.
Because you was the taskmaster going, just dig, woman, dig.
I know, I think you only started doing the weeds, and then obviously we've had a full garden renovation now, haven't we?
Yeah, it wasn't a random guy, but basically, boring story, is that I've never had an outside tap here, and you'd found someone that would come and fit it, and then this poor guy turned up. Like, granted, he was really, really good, and I highly recommend him. We'll probably put his link in the bio, but he come and fit this tap, and then we were both stood outside digging the fucking borders out of the grass, and he was like, what are you both doing? But then that led to the weekends kind of activities, because obviously once you start something, then you need to finish it, don't you? So the garden's in a really, really nice place now, but I've got paneling in my house, but it's in more like normal strips rather than kind of the traditional type of pallet paneling. So we took that outside after having painted the fucking garage black. And your pal Laura turned up, didn't she? Like completely spooked us both. And she was like, "You both look like a right pair of lesbians there." Like stood with a drill in hand, like complaining over wood on the wall. So yeah, we were both. I think we've done a lot of moving over the course of the weekend, though.
Yeah, and obviously it hasn't. This is what I say to people: like your movement isn't just inside a gym; it's outside the gym as well, and doing things like that without even thinking about it. None of us has. I mean, obviously, I haven't been well to actually train anyway, but I've still actually been active with doing that, going out for walks, and nutrition has been there. So when people think that, oh, I can't get to the gym, like you can do so much more outside of it and utilise the time where it is lighter and actually get outside, because obviously the boring stuff, like if you have so much daylight, you're going to feel a little bit more alert, and it's your first 10 minutes upon waking. It does recommend obviously getting outside, getting daylight, not looking at your phone, not going onto emails, and you do start your day better as well. It's one thing I try to do. I try not to start my day on my phone with artificial light, and I just
Yeah, you're better at that now than what you were, but
yeah, it's hard when you work for yourself, and I know a few people who do this. Like you feel like you're on beck and call for everybody else, but it goes back to obviously the cup.
the pouring from an empty
Yeah.
cup analogy.
So obviously you can't pour and keep pouring into everyone else and not do your own. So my boundary's quite firm now. I want to set up my day and start with me, not everybody else. And it honestly it is easier. It'd be a lighter. So the thing I want people to take away from this podcast is ride that wave when you do feel better, you've more energy, your motivation, even though I don't like saying that, is higher, because it is easier when it is like spring and summer to actually get things done, get moving, and you don't actually think about exercise and diet. Like naturally people do eat a little bit less and a little bit better. It's always like your salady foods and
Yeah, we've literally just had a salmon salad with some rice, haven't we? And it feels like it's the right time and appropriate time to eat it. But I think everyone's started to wake up out of the hibernation and the slumber and actually started to. I certainly feel better about going to the gym, and it doesn't feel like it's really, really difficult to take yourself to a gym, especially one like ours where it is quite dark inside, to then go from a dark environment outside to a dark environment inside. Yeah. So it's nice to now be able to like I've missed our walks like at 8-9 o'clock at night, like just around the estate when it's nice. As gay as it sounds, like the birds are chirping, like it's like a Disney movie. But no, it's nice to have a bit more of just that kind of calm. Sorry, Claire's just held my hand because I'm talking with my hands, and that was obviously bugging you. But yeah, it's just I feel like I want to eat better because I feel like it feels fresher outside. I want to be outside more. Obviously, we're planning on going on a walk this weekend.
Yeah.
I think a few of your clients have certainly said the same thing as well, where they're like, "Oh, I'm really getting back into my fitness again." And I did say to you actually, I said that it's interesting that quite a few people had said that to you within the space of a week, and it must have been like a trigger point where people have gone, you know what, spring, summer now, like it's here, let's go and get it.
Yeah, like everybody wants it. They want to look good and they want to feel good and they want to have that energy and feel good about themselves. And I do hate when people say, "Oh, I'm not motivated." Like it does bug me that. But if you are motivated now, and obviously with it being summer coming up, utilise it and make the most of it, because it is a fleeting feeling and it doesn't always stay. So for them times that you do feel like that, absolutely fucking run with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's that momentum, isn't it? It's keeping things going. I've certainly not. I feel absolutely shattered at the moment, I'll be completely honest. But I've gone and trained twice this week because I know that I need to move my body, and it'll probably wake me up in some senses more than anything else will, like rather than sitting inside the house. So
I think for you as well, obviously not just sitting at your desk 24/7. Like a lot of people can relate to this. If you are working from home, you're more productive actually getting out, having a little break, whether it's a walk, nipping to the gym, doing a session. And it's not to say it has to be an hour either, but you're more productive then when you come back to it, because nobody can concentrate and produce quality work sitting straight through for 8 hours. And that's where I find a lot of people, I ask people to track the steps so I can actually see the movement, and you get them people that are under 1,000, they're the people that do that. They're the people that feel tired more, with no energy to do anything, and obviously motivation is always low with them because they aren't actually moving. So moving more does help with your productivity. It does help you feel a little bit more motivated and energised, like not just from a results and a like physique perspective, but actual life and health as well, and even into your work.
Have you found it with your guys? Like obviously you've got a variety of different client types, haven't you? Where because they're on different packages. Like, how have you found everyone kind of in general? Because I feel like in the all round coaching group, like everyone's like much more happier moods because obviously the vitamin D they're getting because the sun's out. People are getting out for walks. People are much more active. You know, like how are you? What's your kind of perception on how people are feeling in general?
I do think people are feeling a lot better, and I'm not one of them that says everybody's happy, chirpy, sunshine and rainbows. Like, there is the ups and downs, but people are moving through it a little bit easier because it isn't dark, it isn't, well, I mean, it's pissing down now, but it isn't as miserable as what it normally is. So, and that's what I'm there for. I'm there to support them, whether they are struggling or they are winning. I'm not just there to see them lose a bit of body fat and off they go into the winter without any help. So I'm there for every season to support that, and it's nice. Like, even the ones on App Access get involved into the group and like they contribute quite a bit as well.
I think the guys on App Access probably feel like they need that support more.
Yeah, because they've got the structure and the guidance, and then the community side comes into it, and I do think when you're in a community of like-minded people, you're motivated by that anyway, and it does help. Like, your environment's a huge factor. So those that are on their own that do struggle, that's why I would recommend something like this where you can come in, you've got other people to support you, not just myself as well. So there is bigger entities outside of just having me.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed that there's messages coming through on my phone as well. So, yeah, I apologise if you just heard a weird vibrating. I know it's a lesbian podcast, but it was not what you think. It's just my phone.
What do you mean? I don't think there's much more to kind of... I've covered quite a lot of ground there. I think it's just if you're feeling good about going training, then go and train. Like...
Yeah, if you've got a little bit more in the tank, then push yourself that little bit further for the times that you might not. That, like, I'll always utilise, it's like you've noticed it, when I'm in my hypervigilance mode, like I do my work then, I get more done, because I know just with my brain there'll be them lulls where I don't get as much done, I don't feel as good, and I've got my little sad brain on. So if you do, similar to me, obviously get like that, then utilise when you are feeling absolutely top of the world and run with it.
Yeah.
Same with your movements, when it's nice outside, we can get outside, because obviously summer's been and gone for us. We had a couple of nice days and it's fucked off. And I know it's not summer, it's spring, but this isn't very springy.
I'm remaining optimistic. He'll be back. It'll be good.
I hope so.
It's watering your grass, so...
Yeah, I'm looking after the lawn at the minute. I like doing stripes. But no, we'll wrap it up there, and we have got a walk on this Sunday the 19th, if anyone wants to message me for the link. It will be in Warrington at 10 a.m, and it's one of my clients that it's put it together just to support a little bit of mental health, because obviously it's Mental Health Awareness this week. So if anybody would like to jump on that, drop me a message on Instagram, or you can, I'll put a poll or a link on here that you can attend it as well. If anyone does need any help, any support, any guidance, they can reach out, and obviously I do offer different things to help different people.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye.